Many of my students are surprised all the times when I say that in the Nei Qi Gong path, at the beginning, we don't pay too much attention in the way we breathe. Because on the web, probably, if we Google or we go on YouTube, we see many people talking about the importance of breath. So this video can be actually quite interesting even for my students, the ones who have asked this question, why it's not that important, and for people who are new to the system, just to understand a little bit how we work in the Nei Qi Gong system. For sure, breathing plays an important role, but not at the beginning in the Nei Qi Gong system from the school of my teacher. At the beginning, there is already so much to do, especially with the first practice. And we are not aware of ourselves that much to pay attention to all this aspect of how the body is standing and the mind moving and the way we are executing exercises. And honestly speaking, the breath doesn't matter that much. It's true that when we learn the first practice, we also learn two preparatory exercises, one of which is about breathing in a certain way to activate the parasympathetic system that help us to slow ourselves down so we can enter in a good state and we start the 15 exercises of the sequence. But it's not something that we pay attention throughout the whole practice. It's just, let's say, a background that we build at the beginning, like a foundation, to later on move and focus on the different things. As I said, are already quite complex, although they are simple at the same time, but complex in the sense that we do many things in the first practice that makes actually paying attention to the breath irrelevant. Say this, the more we move into the path, even with the basic programs, that are not basics, we are basic when we start actually, there is a moment where we pay lots of attention to the breath. In fact, through the breath and certain breathing techniques, we build the dantian, the lower dantian, below the navel, inside the body. What's going to be our tank to store the energy. I don't want to get into the different kind of energies that we can talk about. We just leave it as general concept. With certain breathing techniques, later on we're going to breathe the container, the lower dantian, which is going to be filled up with other practices later on. We're talking about level number 5 and 6. So when we start, there's not really too much need of focusing, of doing some extra work, which is not that important, paying attention to the breath. But then later on, when we move into advanced programs, breath becomes really important because it becomes a way to condense, so to increase the density of energy in our body, and also to push it, so to move it around. That's why at the beginning we say that it's not needed to focus that attention there, but later on it becomes actually one of the key elements to work with energy and to grow in the vital energy in a very powerful way.